This week versus the Raiders, the Eagles don't just need to win, they need to double moonwalk this team's ass. Yo, but do it, kick thing back here, and to start this video out, I actually have a question for Eagle fans. I do, and I honestly want to know, because I don't know what the majority of people are thinking, but what are your expectations and your hopes for this season going forward? We have watched the Eagles blow basically the first seed, blow the second seed, and it seems like they're on their way from blowing the third seed and possible a division. What do you think this team needs to accomplish? Where do you think they can get? Because I guess that's two different questions, right? You would love them to win, but do you think they can get there? To me, I really think that when you look at this team, and it's crazy because if you look at the amount of winning the Eagles have done over the last few years under really Sirianni, it's ridiculous. We have won a ton of games. Yet, if you were to tell me that the Eagles were going to lose out and lose the rest of the games this season, not make the playoffs, it wouldn't shock me. I got to be honest, it wouldn't totally shock me. But at the same time, if you tell me the Eagles win the rest of their games, get into the playoffs, go back to the Super Bowl and win it, it wouldn't shock me. It would not surprise me at all. This team seems like they are one extreme to the other. There is no middle ground. And I think, personally, that's what we're going to see the rest of the year. I think we're going to see either one extreme or the other. I don't think the Eagles are going to win, the next 3 games or, win the division, get into the playoffs and then lose in the first round or maybe lose in the second round. I think if the Eagles get in, they're going to get in and they're going to be hot and then they're going to go very far in the playoffs and do damage. Or I think they're going to lose out and not even make the playoffs. It's going to be one or the other. I don't think it's going to be somewhere in the middle because this team is one extreme to the other. They just are. That's how they are. They collapse. They go to the Super Bowl, come back, historical collapse, go win the Super Bowl, come back, and now we're doing the whole collapse thing again. It's kind of crazy. It really is. And I think this team, it's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I've never seen this before, where you win so much, yet, somehow, you could choke these games away, things like that. It's really quite crazy. Now, when we look at the NFC playoff picture, and I want to do that really quick, here's really where we are currently. You got the Rams are the 1 seed, the Packers are the 2 seed, the Eagles are the 3 seed, the Buccaneers are the 4 seed. Now, you have the Seattle Seahawks as a wild card team, the Niners as a wild card, the 49ers, are a wild card team, and the Chicago Bears are now a wild card team. The Bears went from the 1st seed last week to they're now the 7th seed. That's how crazy it is. And one of these teams, couple of these teams, like the Seahawks, the Niners, the Bears, they're going to have a great record, and they're going to be playing in a city on the road with a team that probably doesn't have as good of a record as they do, okay? Now, as far as the Eagles go, I think they're pretty well established as that 3rd seed. There's still possibility for the 2nd seed and even crazy possibilities for the 1st seed, but a lot would have to happen. We will be watching closely. Then, of course, if you look in the hunt, you've got the Lions, the Panthers, and the Cowboys all fighting for position here. I don't think the NFC East is going to produce 2 playoff teams. They're going to produce 1. So the Eagles have to make sure that they go ahead and they win these next few games. I would not be surprised. The Eagles beat the Raiders. They beat Washington. Then they go in and they somehow beat the Buffalo Bills. And then they sit everybody the rest, the last game. And then they go in the playoffs and they're hot and they go far. I could see it. I could also see them coming out, quitting against the Raiders, losing. Next week it gets worse and then worse. And then we're not even in the playoffs. It's always one extreme to the other. But this is the current playoff picture right now. Things can change. You've got the Packers playing the Broncos this week. You also got the Rams playing Detroit. So things can still happen, no doubt about it. And the Eagles are going to have to get on track. Now, before we get into some of the stuff going on with this game, did you guys see the reports by Jeremy Fowler talking about the Eagles and they might go ahead and try to draft a quarterback this year? He said some people around the league were starting to think the Eagles might draft a quarterback high in 2026, even before Jalen Hurts' 4-interception performance Monday. The prediction from those folks: Roseman snags a passer on day 2, allowing Hurts to serve as the starter in 2026 while having future starter to develop. I guess they're saying the Eagles will do to Jalen what they did to Carson Wentz, basically. One industry predicted. Look, to me, the Eagles drafting a quarterback is typical Eagles. To draft a quarterback in mid-rounds is typical Eagles. Is it because of Jalen Hurts and the lack of quarterback play he's been playing of lately? I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think that's just the nature of what the Eagles do. I expect Jalen Hurts to get out of this funk. I do. He's played bad for 5 weeks. I think he could turn it around. We have seen him do it before. Look, he's never going to beat Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes, okay? But in that Chargers game, I'm just going to be quite honest with you. As bad as it was, turnovers and stuff, I truly believed on that last drive we were going in for a touchdown to win. Because that's what he does. He wins those kind of games in those kind of situations. And he didn't here, and that's what sucks so bad. But the Eagles, they have to move on. They've got the Raiders this week, and to me, you've got to crush the Raiders. You cannot go out against the Raiders and, win 17-13, 19-16. It can't be that. You've got to go out and you've got to take the 3 losses that you've had out on the Raiders. You should crush this team. I don't even know if Geno Smith is playing in this game, okay? Ian Rappaport is reporting this. The Pound Raiders quarterback Geno Smith, dealing with a shoulder injury, is considered unlikely to start on Sunday, sources say. He won't practice today. That would put Kenny Pickett in line to start against the Eagles, his former team. So we may see Kenny Pickett out there for the Eagles. And the last time he started at the link, I think the Eagles clinched the division. I think that was versus the Cowboys, right? So we're probably going to play Kenny Pickett this week. And there's no reason why the Eagles shouldn't win this game. And they should win this game handedly. I mean, I want to see a convincing win. I want them to go out there and have a convincing win. No more of this stupid bunny thing. I mean, this bunny thing is killing me. I am getting so much grief about the Eagles and their stupid bunny thing. It pisses me off. How embarrassing that thing has been. It's ridiculous, okay? They need to just get back to what they do. Listen, I'm going to say this. As bad as that game was, okay, and I blame Jalen Hurts, number 1, for that loss to the Chargers. Thought he stunk. I thought A.J. Brown stunk. He had really bad drops, and I put blame on him. Those 2 guys, to me, were bad. Jake Elliott, you got to be consistent as a kicker, okay? However, despite all that, the Eagles still control their destiny. The magic number is still 3. You got to win 3 games. Now, you've got the Raiders, Washington, Buffalo, Washington. All right, you should be able to win 3 out of the next 4, okay? I know Washington's a division rivalry, and they're rivals, and sometimes they play us tough, but you should still be able to beat them twice, okay? The Eagles, they can get hot. They can get hot. If you go out and you beat the Raiders. Look, what do they say? It says, to get on a streak, to get things going, it starts with getting a first down. Then one drive, and then a good quarter, then, a good half, then a good game, and then you take it on to the next game, and you build from there. The next 2 weeks with the Raiders and Washington, this is a chance for the Eagles to play some teams that really aren't that good, build up your confidence, kind of get back on track, and kind of get this narrative changed a little bit, and kind of get a little streaky going. The Eagles can get very, very streaky. what I'm trying to tell everybody here is don't think that this team is out. I mean, and I'm curious to see what you guys are going to say about what I asked at the beginning. But to me, this team is not out of this thing yet. I mean, they're the team that if they're hot in the playoffs, you don't want to face them. You don't want to face them. All right? So we got a lot of football left to play. We got to get things going. But it's going to start with that Raiders game and a good, get a first down. Put a drive together. Put a couple drives together. Put a good quarter together. Build it up slowly like that. One of the things that came out of the last game versus the Chargers that I think we could build on is that run game. I thought that the Eagles actually started to run the ball better than they have since that Giants game. But this was a better defense. And this was a defense that we were told the Eagles can't run it on, and they did. So I think we need to build on that. I don't think Hurts needs to be throwing 40 times a game. Get it down there to around 30, 25, 30 times. Let's get this run game going. Let's get Tank going and just do those things, and this team will be fine. This team is capable of so much, and they're also capable of total collapse. And it's going to be not, hey, we just won the division and we lose in the first round of playoffs. I don't believe that. It's going to be, you're going to choke and lose this whole thing out and not even get to the playoffs, or you're going to win this whole thing. Or you're going to go really deep in the playoffs. And I say NFC Championship game minimum. I think that's where we're going. One of those two routes. It's not going to be in the middle because everything this team does is not in the middle. It's an extreme. And I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. Don't forget, streaming the Thursday game. I'm not sure if this video is going out tonight or early tomorrow. I'll be up late editing either way. But with that said, I'll see you guys for Thursday Night Football. Should be fun. Take care. I'll talk to you later, of course. Don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. My upset of the week. Here we go. I got the Minnesota Vikings beating the Dallas Cowboys 27-24 with a game-winning field goal at the end. Here we go. I love it. Denzel Washington. Ow. People been asking me, when you got more shakedown merchandise coming out, Philly 500? Well, guess what? It's Christmas time, and it's time. We got a bunch of new stuff. Shout out to Digital Print House. Shout out to Omar who worked on this stuff. But it looks great, fabulous. I'm going to get some of my own stuff for holiday gifts. Check the link in the description and go get yourself some of that Philly shakedown merchandise. That's all, folks.
The brother screwed us.